everyone, this video is about Google tips and tricks. It's divided into segments so you can skip ahead to the next segment if you already know the tip. So let's get started. Our first tip is called snooze. So in your email, if you actually click on an email, and let's say I read this email and I'm like, oh, I probably need to come back to it later, but I don't want it cluttering up my mailbox. Because if I just hit mark unread from here, it would just put it right back into my email. But what I want to do is I want to snooze it. So this little clock up here, if I click on that, I can tell it when I want this to show back up. So I can say I want it to show up later today, or I can tell it I want to show up tomorrow, or I can pick a date and time. So this might be an email where I don't need to worry about it until about 2 weeks. So I can say pick a date and time, and I can pick that date and time, and it will actually snooze that email for me. I'm actually going to pick like maybe tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it disappears from my mailbox because it was sitting right here. But at tomorrow at 8 a.m., that video or that email will actually pop right back up into my email as unread, so I can deal with it then. So this the snooze button is actually a good way to just kind of put things back in the back burner that you know are important, but you don't need to deal with them right now. And if you don't want them cluttering your email box, you can do it that way. So that is the snooze button. This tip is on how to filter your emails. So if you're like me and you have a ton of emails that you don't necessarily want and you're tired of trashing them all the time, you can actually set up a filter that can do all sorts of things. You can trash it, you can send it to spam automatically, it can mark it as read, it can put it in different folders. So to do that, you just click on the email that you would like to create a filter for. So for instance, for this one, and then I just go up here to the little ice cream cone, 3 dots, and I want to filter messages like these. So I click on that, and this says it's from announcements at learn@synergy.com. I can also filter it if it's coming to something or if it has a specific subject, anything like that. I can also search for more of them if I want to. Then you just want to click on your create a filter. So I hit create a filter and all these choices show up. So I can skip the inbox, automatically archive it, which is just the same as trash it. I can mark it as read. I can star it. I can apply a label. So if I have any labels, so I have tons of labels in my world, you can do that. I can forward it to another address. So if it's something that's coming, but I just automatically want to send it to my home email address, I can just do that. I can delete it, never send it to spam. So if you have something coming to your email boxes that is always being sent to spam and you forget to look there, you can actually get that email address and say never send it to spam. I've had a couple of things do that. We were looking to get t-shirts for an event, and the new person at Monticello Sports, they had a new address, and so it was automatically being sent to spam. So I had to go in and say never send this one to spam. I can send it to a template. I can mark it as important, never mark it, choose a category, and also apply this filter to 3 matching conversations. So if I have a lot of junk in my email, I want to make sure I click that because it's going to apply that filter to the 3 matching conversations. I'm actually going to say I want to delete it, and then I just create the filter. And the filter shows me that these 3 emails should have been taken care of and will no longer show up in my mailbox. Will no longer show up in my mailbox. They've already automatically been sent to the trash. So that is how you can create a filter to filter out your emails. Now let's talk about the ability to star emails. You have these little stars off to the side right here, and you can actually go ahead and click on them, and it will put a little gold star by them. What happens is then it actually throws them in the starred folder off to the left right here, and it has all your stars sitting over there. I can unstar this one and go back to my email. So I can click it on or I can click it off. Now, sometimes you might want to have more than one color star. So right now, only the gold star is showing up. You can easily add more colors by going to the gearbox or the settings. So I'm going to the settings and I select all settings. I stay under the general tab and I go down here. And here's my little stars. So right now it says I have 1 star in use. If I want this purple one to come up here, I just click and drag it. I can drag a green one too if I want to. I can drag these other things over here, these little symbols. Trick is, remember that you want to go all the way down here and hit Save Changes. So I'm going to save my changes. I can change Mia's email to a purple star. I can go and star Angie's as a green star. And when I go to my stars, here they are over here. Even when I read this email, so if I read these emails and they get shoved way down to the bottom, down here, I will still be able to just go straight to my starred menu box over here and find them. So that is how you can use starred things. I use them when things are really super important. So during speech season, and I don't want to have to keep searching my archives for emails, I'll just star everything from coaches and it'll end up in my starred thing. And then when I'm done, I can just delete all those emails and I don't have to worry about them once our contest is done. So that's how to use the star feature in Gmail. Way to put your emails into what we call little folders. So they call them labels in Gmail. I always think of them as folders. So I have lots of little folders where I can put my emails so I don't have to keep searching for them. I can just go straight into a folder. Super easy to do. So let's say, for instance, the Illinois Holocaust Museum is where we go to usually when we're on Chicago, and I want to create a label for it. I just click on the email, I go to this little tag looking icon and click on it, and it says labels. So I can go down here and create a new label, or I can click on a label that I already have created. To create a new label, I just click on here, I enter the name of my label. So Chicago 22, let's say. At this point, I can nest it under a label. So if I want to nest it under a label, I can click this and it will tell me what my parent one is. So let's say I just want it to go under the Chicago Big label because we go every other year. And then I just hit create. So that email will pop over into the Chicago label place. So if I go back over here to my Chicago, I see Chicago 22. I click on it and there's that email. Very useful for if you want to keep track of certain emails that are always within a group and you don't want to have to search for them. So I have the Chicago one. All my POs go under a label. So I have all my POs that live under labels. So labels are super easy to use and help clean up your email box, but still keep track of your emails instead of just archiving them. Let's talk about the schedule send option in Gmail. Super easy to do and very helpful. So if there are emails that you want to write but you don't want to send them out, so if it's something you've thought about, hey, I need to remember to send this email tomorrow, but you know you'll probably forget and you have a ton of sticky notes all over your desk like I do, you want to use the schedule send. You just go up to compose and you're going to compose your message just like you normally would. So I'm just going to send it to myself here. And then you just type your message, whatever. And then down here below at your send, there's this little arrow and you can click here and you can get the schedule send. You can choose tomorrow, this afternoon, Monday morning, or you can actually pick a date and time. So I can go ahead and say, hey, I want to send it tomorrow at 11:31 so I can remember this. And I go ahead and hit schedule send. And it is set. It is scheduled. You can see them over here in your scheduled menu off to the left-hand side. So I can click on this and I can see my scheduled messages. At this time, if it comes up and I just want to go ahead and I want to delete it, or I can actually snooze this and change a different date. So that is how you use the scheduled send. Super helpful if you are like me and you think, oh, I got to remember to send an email, and you want to do it right then and schedule it to send later. Gmail templates are great to use if you type the same message over and over again. So for instance, if a student asks to renew their book, I have a template for that all I have to do is change the due date in it. So let's learn how to make them. All you have to do is go over here to Compose, and you just type the message that you want to do. So I'm going to type, this is a test for templates. Okay. And I just come down here to the three dots. I click on that, and then I go to templates, and you can see that I have a ton of templates over here, but I want to go down here and save draft as template. And at the bottom of that, is save as a new template. I'm going to put in testing and hit save, and boom, I've made a new template. So if I want to use that template, I just come over to Compose, go back down to my three dots, go to my templates, and there is testing. So I just, boom, hit it right there. I can put in the student's name, and then this is a test, and I can even add more information after this if I want to. Okay, and then I just hit send. If I don't like my templates, I can delete them. So down at the bottom here, it says delete templates, so I can go and delete any template that I want over here. And that's how you use Google Templates. Out of office response. We're going to talk about the out of office response. This is a great way should you, let's say, be at a conference for a couple of days and you want to let people know that you're probably not going to get to their emails right away. So the easy way to do that is you're going to go over to your cog over here where settings is. You're going to click on your gear right here, and you're going to go see all settings. And then towards the bottom of your see all settings way down here is the vacation responder. So when you're ready to do your vacation responder, you just say the first day of when you want it to start, and then you can say, when do you want this to disappear? This is awesome because if you're like me and you get back from your conference and you totally forget to turn off your vacation responder, this will take care of it for you. Then your subject, out of the district, if you want to say, and then you just say, I'm currently out of the district. If it falls in technology, please call whatever. And then state when you'll be back. Leave these all checked is usually what I do. And then when you're ready, you just turn it on and then you hit save changes. So just make sure once you get it all ready, you hit save changes, and then that will turn on your vacation response, or to let people know if you're out of the district. Let's talk about some things that can help you stay organized and help you make your work flow a little bit better. So off on the right hand side of every single Google thing are these little icons over here that you can use, and you can have them open at all times or at no times. It just depends on how you like it. So the first one is the calendar. So I can load my calendar. If you're a calendar person, you can load your calendar and see where, if you have stuff to do over here, so it'll run you right through your schedule. I can also see another date if I need to see that date. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Google Keep, if you're a Google Keep person, your Google Keep stuff will show up over here, and you can take notes from here. You can add notes into Google Keep. And then tasks, if you're a to-do person, you can have a task list running over here and have it open all the time and have it ticked off. You can add a task by hand. So if I need speech schedules to be working here, I can add that task. Once I have it done, I just click it. I can move tasks. So if I put multiple tasks here, I can move them up and down. I can have dates and times in here. I can add an email to a task. So if I open up an email, I get this little add to tasks. So I can add Judy's email about reminding me that I got to get those pep rally requests in. So you can do that too. So that is a brief overview of all the little things that are over here on the side. They're available in all of the G Suites. So if I open up my docs, I can have my tasks open over here. And it's the same tasks that I had added. So I go back to my Gmail, they're still sitting there. So if you're a person that likes to have your life organized, you can have that open, or you can turn it off at any time. If you're like me and you're working with multiple windows open at the same time on your computer, here's a helpful hint to help you organize those. So at the bottom of your screen, like me, you'll see that I have 4 windows open. Yeah, this is a good day for me. I usually have more than that open. But sometimes it's hard to tell which window you want. Like you might have multiple tabs open and this one happens to be stuck on a Gmail tab or something like that. You can actually name these to give it a little, to help you see what you're doing here. So let's say I wanted to name this window. If I just right click on it, it says name window. I just pop up here, and this is actually my middle school lessons. So I can call it my middle school lesson, and I click OK. And when I come back down here and click on these, boom, it says middle school lessons. So if you're running around like me with multiple tabs open, you can actually name your tabs. So if I would actually probably name this one my main window, so that I know that's the one that's got all my stuff open on it at the same time. So there's a little helpful hint on how to name your multiple windows that you have open on your computer. Let's talk about how you can search in Gmail and in your Google Drive a little more effectively. So for instance, let's say that I know I got an email from Robin Ponder, so the easiest thing to do is just type in Robin Ponder. But then it brings me one of, so many emails. So I want to narrow this down. If you click on these little search options over here, I know it was from Robin, so I'm actually going to take this from here and put it up here. And then I can also add some other things. I'm not necessarily sure I know what the subject was, but I know it did have the word Infinite Campus in it. So I'm going to go ahead and type that. I can also choose if it was within 1 day. I can choose a calendar date. I can choose like 3 days, 6 months, whatever. So you can kind of narrow it down from there. And I'm going to go ahead and hit none on this because I don't want it to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit search. So off it goes. And now I've got it down to 41. 41 is still a lot of emails. So I can actually go back in and I'm like, oh, you know what? I know it had to do with gradebook. So I'm going to search that. And boom, I am down to 6 emails. So I can search my emails a lot easier that way. I can also search it if it has an attachment, all sorts of different things. I can also do that in my Google Drive. So if I wanted to, I want to search conference speech, or I search conference. Here's our conference schedule, but I wanted something else. I can go in here and I can say, I want it to be a document. I want me to be the owner. I want it to have the words conference. I can search for trash, starred, encrypted, any of those, location. I can also choose where my location is and I hit search and it's going to bring up just those things that are documents. So I won't get any slides or anything like that. So that is an easy way to effectively search through Gmail and your Google Drive.